Octagon Control MMA. I'm Dan. We're going to be talking about UFC Vegas 16, quick roundup of tonight's fights. We're going to talk about how I did with my bets personally, and I'd love to see how you did in the comments as well. So let's just get started on my numbers. I put on a total of 32.50 over the 8 fights, and I had a potential returns of £74.64. Okay, so first of all we had Volante versus Collier. I went for Volante by stoppage on this one. Big mistake, lost £4 on this, but it's a bad start to the night, but we carry on. Volante was just a bit too slow for my liking, and Collier, to his credit, I slagged him off quite a lot in my video I made earlier in the week about this fight, but he looked fantastic. He looked in much better shape than he did against Tom Allen, who he fought in the summer, and I really think he can make a run at heavyweight with the way he's looking. Big power shots, he got his nose broken early, didn't let him slow him down, and he maintained a good pace through the full 3 rounds. So moving swiftly on, Tapia versus Damon Jackson. I went for Tapia to win on this one. Cheeky £2.10 profit. Not much to say on this one, very dominant performance by Tapia. Got off to a great start, lots of body shots. Like I said in my video I did on this fight early in the week, with him being quite short for the weight class, he's not got the best range. Body shots are his friend. He can get in close, and he managed to avoid getting hit on the way out. And fantastic stoppage as well. Damon Jackson didn't know what hit him at all. And good on him as well for not following up with a ground and pound when there was no need for it. I do always appreciate that. Okay, swiftly on. Lewis Smolka versus Jose Quinones. Just, what can I say? It was absolute barn burner from the start. In round 1 I thought Quinones was probably getting the better of the shots, but obviously it didn't turn out that way. And then in round 2 he followed him up very well. He's got the knockout, great judo throw, bit of ground and pound, and that was that. Made a profit of £4.45 on this one. Bit of a better margin for me. So moving on, Wyman versus vsLevitt. What can we say about this one? That slam was one of the nastiest I've seen in a good long time. It reminded me of Rampage back in the Pride days with his Batista bomb sort of thing that he did. And it's good to see that Matt Wyman's okay though, and a great deal of respect that vsLevitt was showing after it. I believe he went over to Matt Wyman's wife and apologised. Very classy performance on his UFC debut. So I made £4.10 on this one as well. I had Levitt by stoppage for this one. Okay, now to Roman Delanza, John Allen. This was my biggest disappointment of the night personally. I had Delanza by stoppage. This is his 8th fight, and his first 7 have all been stoppage wins. So I was very confident that that's what we're going to see as well. Not to take anything away from Allen, he put in a decent performance. Obviously it was a very dominant decision victory for Delanza in the end. That one judge who gave it to John Allen, he apparently is the same judge that gave Paul Felder 3 rounds against Dos Anjos a few weeks back. He should not be judging anything related to MMA ever again. I believe he's a boxing judge and he can stick to it. I'm sure he's very good at it. But it's very clear he doesn't understand MMA. If anyone watched that fight and thought John Allen won, then you need to check yourself, because that's just not what happened at all. Quick words on the fight though. Great striking from both of them on the feet. Delanza taunting away, smiling, looking like the Joker that he is. And then in the 2nd and 3rd round he got the takedowns, got on top, didn't do very much with it. Particularly in the 3rd round he knew he'd won the first 2, and he was happy to coast to an easy victory in the end. So, going back, I lost just over £5 on that one, minus £5, 2 pence I lost. So swiftly on for my biggest win of the night, Gabriel Benitez versus Justin James. Very impressive. You wouldn't want to get hit with one of those kicks, would you? The power behind them, you could hear it through the telly. You could see the marks forming on James's body. And I did say early in the week, but I thought if it was going to be in the first round, I thought James would have the advantage. And then I thought, Benitez will grow into it as a fight game on. That was not the case though. I mean, it was a flying knee to the body that dropped him, and then a bit of ground and pound, and he was out of there. Okay, co-main event time. Owen St. Preux, OSP, the king of the Von Flue choke himself, fought newcomer Jamal Hill, and very disappointing for me on this one. I appreciate Jamal Hill went into this for favourite, and he deserved to win. He got the second round knockout. I lost 345 on this one, and yeah, it just, OSP never looked like he was getting in there. He had quite a few good kicks here and there, and when he was in the southpaw stance, as the commentators were saying, he looked much better from southpaw than he did orthodox, and Jamal Hill seemed to be struggling with the style when he was in that southpaw stance, but that's not what happened in the end. Jamal Hill definitely deserved to win. I don't want to take anything away from him at all. His combos, just up until the finish, were, it looked like he was just working a heavy bag. It was very impressive. So, main event time, Manson Vittori. This one, absolute barn burner. One of the best fights I've seen in a long time. I genuinely thought Manson was gone in the first round. I was getting up to go to the toilet, go make myself a drink. I thought Herb Dean was going to call it, and I don't think too many people would have complained if he had called it at that point. I also think if Vittori kept on the ground and pound instead of attacking the neck, that he could have probably got the finish there quite early. But nonetheless, I'm glad he didn't, because we got a fantastic fight after that. Round 2, more of the same. Vittori with a fair bit of ground control in this round though. Manson, I really thought he'd do well on the ground. I appreciate Vittori's got 9 submissions, but I was thinking about Manson's last fight against Gastelum, where he got the early heel hook. So, round 3, this is where I thought everything was turning round. I thought, right, Manson's got this, my bet's coming in. So I had a total of, I had £4 bet on this one, which obviously I lost in the end, which is fine because I got to see the fight that I enjoyed. Round 3 though, Manson came back into it. I thought, right, this is it, it's turned around. But then as round 4 came along, it became very clear that Vittori had just taken a round off, which he's entitled to do. He still won 4 rounds. He got a 10-8 on one judge's scorecard as well, which I think he should have got a 10-8 for the first round. Round 5 was a straight up brawl, but again, Vittori was getting the better of the striking exchanges, and he fully deserved to win. So, I've just gone through all the fights and all my bets, and I'm sure everyone's very curious about if I made any money. I made a grand total of 40 pence profit on this one. So, a bit disappointing, I suppose. If Manson had won at the end, that would have bought me in an extra £7. So I'd have been up to about £40. But you know what, I didn't lose any money. I had great fun watching the fights. Hope everyone else did as well. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow, where we'll start talking about UFC 256. And we'll start with the prelims for that and move on throughout the week. This is Dan from Octagon Control MMA. Hope everyone has a great day, and goodbye.